Hi, my name is Debra R. Richardson of Debra R. Richardson LLC, and I work with you to help you clean up your vendor data, clean up your vendor processes, and pay the right vendor. Now, this week's Vendor Master File tip of the week is 2 tips to avoid gift card scams. I recently had a webinar called Tips to Avoid Email Fraud, 20 Tips in 20 Minutes. And in it, I included 10 tips to avoid business email compromise scams. And that's where a fraudster will try to impersonate your boss or your vendor to get you to change your vendor's remittance information to divert payments. I also had 5 tips to avoid credential theft, which is where fraudsters will attempt to make you enter into a fraudulent site your legitimate username and password. And I included 5 tips to avoid gift card scams. Now, gift card scams is one of those frauds that cycles around and it's really on the upswing again. And it can occur in at least 2 scenarios, and I'm sure there are more. So I'll go through those 2 scenarios along with tips to avoid them. So the first scenario is probably one that you've heard of before and most familiar with, and that's where you or your team member receives an email asking you to buy gift cards from the team. And that email typically comes from your management or your boss. Now, this one will get you all excited because one of those gift cards or gift cards may be for you. But the tip is to avoid the expectation. Avoid the expectation that it's even possible that management will contact an employee for gift cards in the first place. Why have the employee spend petty cash if you still have it, or their own money for a gift card? The expectation itself should be a red flag, and any purchases for gift cards should go through a different route. Now, the second one is where you may get a call from the IRS or a utility company. And in this scenario, they will say, whoever contacts you will say you have to pay taxes or fine, or they may even threaten to cut off your company's utilities. Now, the tip for this one is gift cards are for gifts, not for payments. So gift cards are not for payments, so this request should be a red flag. Now, if you want 3 other tips to avoid gift card scams, along with 17 other tips to avoid email fraud, be sure to stay on because at the end of this video, the link to that webinar will pop up. If you would like more information on how to improve your vendor process, please go to my website, deborarrichardson.com, for free tools and resources to avoid fraud, regulatory fines, and just overall bad vendor data. So good luck, and be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified next Tuesday for the next Vendor Master File tip of the week.